My name is Ellie Dudley and I'm the legal affairs correspondent with the Australian newspaper, and I'm coming to you from chilly Morwell, a tiny town of about 13,000 people that is currently hearing possibly the biggest criminal trial of this year. That is of course the criminal trial of Erin Patterson, the Leongatha mushroom chef who is accused of murdering 3 of her ex-husband's relatives and attempting to murder a 4th by feeding them a poisonous beef Wellington at a lunch at her home in 2023. Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty and has always denied any wrongdoing. I've been in Morwell for about 2 weeks now covering this trial, and we have heard from some pretty interesting witnesses. I'm going to take you through 3 key witnesses that we've heard from. The first key witness is Simon Patterson. He is of course the estranged husband of Erin Patterson, and he gave evidence pretty early on in the trial. Now we know that Simon's parents, Don and Gail, and his aunt and uncle, Heather and Ian, actually attended the lunch. Don, Gail and Heather did not survive after eating the beef Wellington, while Ian Wilkinson survived after a lengthy period in hospital. Now Simon Patterson gave evidence about the fact that he was actually invited to the lunch, but he told Erin Patterson that he was too uncomfortable to attend. He pulled out at the last minute the day before. He also told the court about his relationship with Erin. He said the pair split for good in 2015, despite the fact that the earlier parts of their marriage had been marred by short periods of separation. He said when they split in 2015, the relationship remained amicable. They went on family holidays together, they co-parented their children, but he said that sort of changed in 2022 when he accidentally, he said, marked himself as separated on his tax return. Erin was upset by that, he said, and asked that he start paying her formal child support so that she could claim the family tax benefit. Now the second witness that I'm going to take us to is Ian Wilkinson. Ian Wilkinson, as I mentioned, was present at the lunch and survived after a lengthy period in hospital after eating that beef Wellington. Now, this was the first time that we had heard the full account of Ian Wilkinson publicly. He's the pastor of the Correspondent Baptist Church, which is the church that Erin Patterson, Simon Patterson and their 2 children attended together. He gave evidence about being at the lunch. He said that he and his wife Heather were happy and excited to attend this lunch because his relationship with Erin, he said, was unremarkable. They were more like acquaintances, and he had hoped that this lunch would improve their relationship. Now, he gave evidence about being at the lunch and noting that while he and the other guests were eating off of large grey plates, he noticed that Erin Patterson was eating off of a smaller, tan-coloured plate. He also gave evidence about Erin Patterson being reluctant to let her guests tour her pantry, and how she rejected help from her guests when they offered to help her plate up the beef Wellington. Now, the third key witness that I want to take us to, or key witnesses I should say, are the kids of Simon and Erin Patterson. Now, they can't be named for legal reasons, and they didn't give evidence in person. Instead, the jury was played pre-recorded evidence that they had given in police interviews in August 2023, a few weeks after the lunch. Now, the daughter, the 9-year-old daughter of Erin and Simon Patterson, spoke about how she, her brother and a friend weren't welcome at the lunch. She was told by her mum that they wanted to discuss some adult stuff at the lunch, and so they went to the McDonald's down the road, and they also went to the movies while the lunch was going on. She spoke about eating the leftovers of the lunch the next day, and how she was taken to hospital on the Monday after the lunch, after the lunch guests had fallen ill. Her brother gave quite similar evidence in his police interview. He spoke about going to McDonald's and going to the movies and eating the leftovers. He said the leftovers was some of the best meat he had ever eaten. But he also spoke about clearing up the plates from the lunch when he returned to the house after it on the Saturday. And he described the plates as white. Now, we've had 2 weeks of this trial and we're about to enter the third. And you can follow along with all of our coverage at theaustralian.com.au.